Hello everyone, welcome to new video. Today we are going to discuss about new topic, that is life processes in living organism part 2. I have explained you part first before this, and all the videos are present in my channel, so you must have to visit over there. You will find it out each and every video. In that also, if you have a doubt, so you can ask me, don't hesitate to ask. Second, today we are going to discuss about life processes in living organism, but in this module we are going to discuss only and only about introductory portion of life processes, why this thing is important and this phenomenon occurs, as per means how this phenomenon occur and what is the importance of this phenomenon. To start it, to understand it, we have to start it with its basic constructive phenomena, that is life processes in living organism. So in this part we are going to discuss about the phenomenon in which we are going to study about life processes. In previous standard or in previous class we have learned about the life processes phenomenon. The nutrition, respiration, excitation, sensation, quick action reaction, that is reflex reaction, redox reaction, and the various for phenomenon which we have earlier seen is we have discussed about it. All these phenomenon or all these life processes are so important for the living organism, but in the fact only and only these things are not important. With respect to these things, many more other concepts are also there which are simultaneously important than that of this concept. So in the previous class we have studied about the various phenomenon like response, like another we have taken nutrition, respiration, excitation, sensation and response. Both are type are considered over here, that is control and non-control, that is control and coordination. So etc are the essential to each living organism to remain alive. To remain alive, these things are important. So had you ever think or had you ever seen, if the person is sick, he is not feeling well, he went to hospital, okay. So when he went to hospital, at that time doctor used to, if he is so much serious, if the patient is so much serious, at that time doctors came near the ambulance and started seeing his impulses, while these are impulses are strong, these are impulses are active or not. If these impulses are not active or these impulses can't give response, so we consider as the person should be no more, that is another thing. So for alive body we have to clear this phenomenon. First of all, the respiration, he take his finger near the nose and he started analyzing it. That the patient who's in front of him is started taking, means he was breathing or not. Afterwards what he do, he open the eyes, take the torch, focus on the eye. If the person gives in response, reflex action gives in response, because each and every function of a human body is nothing but the miracle of nature. Each and every organ of a human body performs a various work. Dependent on their capacity or dependent on their reaction, we can find it out the person should be alive or not. For that, what the doctor exactly do, he focus the torch on his eye and the pupils start contract or expand. If these pupils start contracting or expanding, at that time we can clearly say that the person should be alive. But sometimes what happen, these pupils can't give response. So at that time what we are considering here, the person are unable or the victim is unable to give a response. So that is nothing but that we are consider as a, means it is not a sign of alive one. So for this, life processes in living organism means what? In that all the phenomenon we have to study, not even about the process, but beside there are life process are more essential to each living organism to remain alive. Beside these life processes, one more life process occurs in living organism, that is reproduction. Reproduction is nothing but the essential life process or the part of a life process. You know, we are said that the reproduction is not a particular thing, that because of that the person should be alive for till up to further time, but it's not like that. Reproduction means what? Formation of new organ. Or living thing. Formation of new organelle or living thing. However, reproduction does not help a person organism to remain alive, which means we can say formation of new organ या फिर organism. Here we can particularly use the word organism also. I'll just put the name organism. So the life processes has a various roles in our life, but in that reproduction is considered as to be a major product, because you know, these process can't be help that the person to alive until further the time, but this process gives in a formation of new organelles or new living things to exist in the nature. You know, because of this thing, the because of that only it helps to maintain the continuous of species of that particular organisms. For reproduction helps the organism to form particularly to it particularly help to to let them the species not to be exist. So for that reproduction is important, which it is also are of two types, that is sexual and asexual, that is we are going to discuss later on. But till up to now, reproduction helps to form a new organisms or living things, which helps us to predict these kind of species until further the time, you know, as per the adaptation or weather, climate or adaptation. These species are started adapting themselves as per the climate. Whatever the climate is there, these species are started arranging themselves as per the climate. You know, right now on the right now over here you are able to see some pictures. These pictures helps you to find it out the reproduction of an organisms, which is important to let them organisms to exist in the nature. If this process is not happens, or this process is not happening, at that time what happen? So the species start existing from the nature. So next important process is formation of new organisms of some species or the same species by earlier existing organism is called as reproduction. I am going to write down the definition. You also have to write down this definition. So the definition is exactly like that: formation of new organism, formation of new organism by an of same species without involving, or we can make the definition simple one as like that: formation of new organisms of a species, so by an earlier existing organism, species by an is called reproduction, which is also two types. Reproduction is also two types. First one is asexual and second one is important sexual. reproduction. Okay, so the various important characteristics of a living organism, it also one of the various reason responsible for the evolution of each species in the living organisms. Reproduction occur mainly by two methods, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So in that, formation of new organism of same species by an earlier organism is called as reproduction. These reproduction are of two types. First one is asexual reproduction and the sexual reproduction. Both are the different from each other, because first requires a gamete and another first do not require a gamete or fission of gamete, but second one requires a fission of gamete. But before this, we have to see formation of new organism. On the basis of that, we are going to discuss about the reproduction. Reproduction is an essential process. Because of that only the new species started developing themselves. No doubt these species are exactly familiar, or these species are exactly same as the organism which started producing them. But the main thing is that as per the adaptation, these species started then converting themselves into a various portion. So that is why it is so important and essential concept. So in the life processes in living organism, in that chapter we are going to discuss about this phenomenon which I have started explaining you. So about this sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction, we are going to discuss in next video lecture. In the form of animation also we are going to discuss about it. But I hope you understand this phenomenon. To get the notification of this too, so you have to press the subscription button, which is exactly downside of my channel, and below beside of that bell icon is there. You have to tap the bell icon and make the notification all. Because of that only what happen, if I'll upload the video, you will get the notification. And second important thing, I'll drop you the link of that playlist which I have earlier created for life processes in living organism part 1. So I'll drop you the link of that playlist in the description box which is given below. You must have to visit over there, and you have to must check all the lectures which I have earlier uploaded. And hope you are enjoy this phenomenon. If you have a doubt, so don't forget to ask me in the comment box which is given below. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you.